Meet the new team of Packers at Lambeau Field.
We're using acid-free boxes and we're wrapping them very carefully.
Almost 100 years of history, inventoried and ready for a road trip.
You want to just make sure that you don't damage anything. This is all of it is unique and in most cases not replaceable, so we just want to be as careful as possible.
Once all of these boxes are filled, they'll be moved off-site to a climate-controlled storage facility. This entire cleanout needs to be done by the end of this week.
The team is making way for an atrium overhaul.
At the conclusion of the season, the Miller Lite Gate will shut down, the Harlan Plaza will shut down. We're going to excavate and create that new ground level for when the new Pro Shop will be open and operational this summer.
The revamped Hall of Fame will open in 2015. Until then, fans will have the chance to see a portion of this memorabilia at the Neville Public Museum.
Hopefully it'll mean a lot of increased traffic coming to us. That's what we're hoping for. Again, we don't want to disappoint visitors and give people an opportunity to check out our permanent exhibits as well as the temporary exhibit on the Hall of Fame.
A community coming together to link a bright future with a storied past.
That's history. That's what we have. That's who we are. That's how we define ourselves, and we got to protect and preserve that.
Millaine Wells, Local 5 News, HD, Green Bay. This may look like Santa's workshop.
Right now it's very hectic. We take a lot of phone calls.
But these elves are busy filling orders from PackersProShop.com.
It's the best time of year because it's the holidays and it's football season, so we have a lot of business going on, and we're doing a lot of both receiving goods into our warehouse and also shipping a lot of goods out.
6,000 orders were already waiting when the team arrived Monday morning.
Jerseys and cheese heads and the, just t-shirts and hats are the standards that you're going to sell, and outerwear. But then we have lots of fun things like garden gnomes.
The ease of Cyber Monday, where just a few clicks take you from cookies to clay. Matthews, that is.
Just about anything and everything a Packers fan could want.
A cyber mall filled with holiday cheer.
I just love it. It's just like a really happy job, a fun place to work. Everybody's excited about the Packers. Everybody's got a story to tell, how they're the best Packer fan ever.
Millaine Wells, Local 5 News, HD.
Go, Pack, go! How can you miss a game like this?
Go, Pack, go!
These diehards from Wisconsin will be at Soldier Field. They booked a trip through Packers fan tours, and the fun started as soon as the bus pulled out of Green Bay.
Go, Packers!
We watched the Ice Bowl and we partied.
45 Packers backers and one other football fan hard to miss.
Go Bears! I am a Bear fan. It was a good deal. I couldn't pass it up.
The fan tours package was about $800 a person for a night in a hotel, end zone seats to the game, and other perks.
This is the biggest game of the year. This is better than the Super Bowl, and we are going to take it.
Fans made sure to pack all the essentials.
This is our road traveling sign.
And will make their presence known here in the Windy City.
We are going to cheer, cheer, cheer!
But they're not the only ones checking into the Hilton. And Chris, our Chicago fan from Wausau, isn't giving up without a fight.
Go, Pack, go! Go, Pack, go!
No matter who wins, it's going to be an interesting ride home. But this Bears fan has a plan.
I don't want this guy to It's not his plan.
About that. That's about it. Just smile, keep my mouth shut, and play it smart.
Millaine Wells, Channel 5 News, Chicago.
Well, grass doesn't grow when it's cold, of course.
Head groundskeeper John Nolan hopes people keep that in mind before judging the condition of the field on Sunday.
We fertilize it heavy to try and just really stimulate it.
Nature doesn't always cooperate, and John says that's why the surface of Soldier Field can vary so much from game to game.
It's natural grass, it's bluegrass, it's sodded in the first week of December.
To keep the field as soft as possible, a substance similar to antifreeze flows underneath it in more than 40 miles of pipeline.
When you get into the colder time of the year, doesn't recover as well. It gets slipperier, it gets wetter.
In case the snow starts to fly on Sunday, there's a crew of 25 on standby. They'll grab these backpack blowers and cross the field every commercial break.
And a clear field makes Anthony Mortez happy. He's in charge of painting the logos.
Well, it's just a stencil is just a big, large piece of plastic with it's basically a stencil, and and you just we have little cutouts. You fill it in, and then come back later with the paint and fill it in solidly, and then you can do that with the white, and then you come back with the colors, and you're done.
Anthony makes it sound simple, but just watching for a few minutes and you know this man is a true artist with a true allegiance to his team.
My favorite color is blue and orange.
A field finished just in time to be demolished by players. Does it make you cringe a little when the grass gets torn up?
Always.
Tell me a little bit about the emotion as the guy who takes care of the lawn when you see it tore up. What is that for?
Well, you know, there's an old saying from a guy from Kansas City, grass grows by inches and it's killed by feet. So, especially cleats.
For Chicago lawyer Charles Brizzalara, the Bears are in his blood.
My father and George Halas were high school friends. My father invested in the Bears in the 20s, and during the war, when George Halas went in the Navy, he asked my father to be general manager and run the Bears for him.
Charles recalls many trips to Green Bay where Packers fans always gave the Bears a memorable welcome.
We did take the team bus from the hotel to City Stadium, and they tried to tip the bloody bus over on us.
Charles was only 12 years old the last time the Bears played the Packers in the postseason.
I remember almost everything. I remember it was very cold. It was a week after Pearl Harbor. The stadium was still full. The Packers got off well. The Bear halfback fumbled the opening kickoff. Packers recovered it, and they scored very quickly. And that was about the end of the Packers, I hate to tell you.
The Bears went on to win it all that year.
My father is there.
Charles tells me many things have changed about football since 1941.
There was more coffee than beer consumed. The fans were dressed better. Men were generally dressed in almost business clothes like I am now, with the fedora and an overcoat.
Now at age 81, Charles will still wear an overcoat to the game on Sunday, and he plans to sit outside.
I don't drink beer or anything else while I'm there. I go there to watch the game. I buy a program and I study the other team's players, and all that. That's what I do.
On the field, James Jones is a receiver. But in the game of life, he's an all-star giver.
If I talk to 100 kids and I change 2 kids' lives, you know, that's good enough for me. You know, I wish I could change all 100, but, you know, sometimes you can. If you change a couple, you know, that's good.
Through his foundation, Love Jones for Kids, James does more than just wear the number 89. That's how many wishes he grants each year to underprivileged kids in Wisconsin and his home state of California. New clothes, food, and simply the gift of time spent learning about football and life.
No matter what you go through, you know, never give up on your dream. You know, anything can happen.
It's a message that comes naturally to Jones. In fact, his mission takes him back to the very shelters he called home.
Me and my mom, we stayed in homeless shelters ever since I was born until I was about 15. My mother was on drugs. My dad was on drugs. A lot of my family members were on drugs.
Turning to football when friends turned to drinking and parties.
When I was 7 years old, I told my mom, I'm gonna make it to the NFL and I'm gonna take care of you.
A dream that got legs at one of those homeless shelters. Someone dropping off food spotted a young Jones playing catch in the yard.
He paid for me to play football.
A future coach picking up on raw talent and ambition.
The main reason was my mother. She worked hard to, you know, make sure we had food, make sure we had clothes on our back, and my main reason was I never wanted to disappoint her.
In his high school years, James lived with his grandma while Mom got life back on track.
I was blessed to go to the same high school for all 4 years. Growing up in the Bay Area, I always wanted to be a quarterback. I wanted to be like Joe Montana.
And Jones got that chance in high school, playing QB, free safety, and wide receiver. Accolades on the field earning him a full athletic scholarship to San Jose State University.
First person in my family to graduate from college, you know, so that was an honor.
Then in 2007, Jones got the call from the Packers with an invitation to play in Green Bay.
Draft day was probably the best, besides getting married and besides when I have some kids, draft day was probably the best day of my life.
James put his newfound star power to work right away, starting the Love Jones for Kids Foundation his rookie year.
That's probably the best part of it all, you know, just to get out there and, you know, see the smiles that you put on the little kids' faces.
And after almost 20 years, able to make good on his promise to Mom, make it pro and take care of his family.
That's a blessing that I'm able to do for them, and from where we came from, it's an honor to be able to help them out the way I can.
We're getting a rare look behind the scenes at the Network Operations Center inside Cowboys Stadium.
We monitor everything throughout the stadium. Case in point, early on when fans are coming in, we have hundreds of wireless access points that the ticket scanners are connected to.
Just like the black box of an airplane, this maze of metal contains the codes and connections for everything electronic in the stadium.
The lighting system, the sound system, all the 3,000 IPTVs. So anything that's connected to the network, we can actually monitor and be proactive to fix and see things that happen before they ever become an incident and can correct them on the fly.
The same system also controls the famous retractable roof and that massive center scoreboard stretching from 20-yard line to 20-yard line.
30 million LED lights, and it's raised about 90 feet above the field.
Here's another impressive number. There are almost 1,000 wireless access points spread throughout the stadium.
When you come to an event, we want to make sure that your smartphone is connected so that when you're taking pictures, video, or texting your friends in other sections, you can upload your data quickly. You can get the speeds that you need to upload to Facebook or MySpace or wherever it might be.
And all of that instant access took a lot of planning.
When we built Cowboys Stadium, we had to put in 261 miles of fiber and about 6 million feet of copper.
The Super Bowl will be a major test of the system. The stadium is certified to hold 111,000 people.
So with that, it's almost like a small city in North Texas here. So we have to provide everything from the cellular service to the concession stands to all the different types of things that you would normally do inside a city. We actually provide it here inside the stadium while you're here enjoying the game.
And while they won't get to watch much of the actual game, this crew of 20 on the technology team says this is their Super Bowl too.
We will have the bat phone on and lit up and ready to go. We'll be monitoring everything inside this stadium to make sure that the fan experience is just a great experience.
Millaine Wells, Channel 5 News, Arlington, Texas.